Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a horizontal clove hitch knot to create an organic line in your piece, meaning not a line that's horizontal, not a line that's diagonal, but to kind of create cool, more hill-like shapes in your piece. If you don't already know how to do a horizontal clove hitch or half hitch knot, go ahead and check out my video that's listed in the description below. This video is not going to go over how to do that knot, but how to use that knot as in this technique of creating an organic shape. So to start out with, I'm going to take my left piece here and I'm going to start moving across my piece. So I'll go ahead and create my horizontal clove hitch. And I am really just going to do horizontal at first, so I'm just making a straight line across. Now I want to go ahead and start to dip. So when I go around to tighten this piece here, instead of tightening it right up against the square knot that's above it, I'm actually going to loosen it a little bit to start to come down. And then I'll go around the second time. If you don't know, when you do your horizontal clove hitch, the first time you go around actually determines where your piece of rope lays. So it's that first time that's really important, especially for doing something like this where we're creating an organic line. So I'm gonna come down again, and you can see, and you'll notice throughout this video, me kind of going through and kind of scrunching or kind of manipulating or pushing the line certain ways. Doing this knot is really flexible, and I do use my hands a lot to kind of determine how I want it to go. If I want it to have like a little bit of a curve up here at the top, I might push it up a little bit. A lot of people don't realize that you can really manipulate it that much. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so I've taken a sharp downturn, and now I want to kind of level out again. So I'm gonna keep just going down a little bit here. And now on this next one, I'm gonna pull it back up into a straight line again. And so for the next couple, I'm going to do more of a straight line. All right, and then let's say I want to go a little bit down. I'm sorry, a little bit up now. So now when I want to go up, I'm going to pull it a lot higher than you would think that you need to. So if I'm pulling it this high, it's not going to stay this high. It's actually going to come down a little bit just because of gravity and the way that tension works and everything. So you usually have to pull it a lot higher than you would think. And going up while doing a clove hitch is really one of the harder things to do. So I would always go up more than you think that you need to. And sometimes if you want to do like a really sharp upward turn, it's easier just to do a vertical clove hitch, which we're not going to be covering in this video. Or sometimes I will even add in another piece of rope here just to make up that space. But just for this one, I'm just going to take a little turn up here so you'll see it's not that dramatic now that I've done it. I'm going to go up on this one too, so see how I'm holding it up there. And then I want to come back down so you can see I'm kind of like manipulating this to again create that nice curve. And I'll immediately start going down again. And you can see I'm also holding my piece of rope downward when I'm doing this. I hold it up when I'm going up this way, hold it horizontal or to the side here when I want to create a horizontal line. So I'm holding my piece of rope down when I'm going around that first time. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of finish up here. I might tick up again just a little bit at the end, but you can see we've got this really kind of cool wavy line here. It's a little bit, especially if you're like me, I don't really like to do geometric shapes in my macrame pieces, which a lot of people think you have to do because you're doing such straight rows of knots, of like, especially like here we've got straight rows of square knots. And also something to mention is, see how I've kind of built with my square knot rows the kind of backbone of what I'm using to do my line, to kind of trace my line against, if you will. So to do this out in the middle of just negative space here would be so much harder than to do it against this frame that I've built with my square knots, if that makes sense. So if I wanted to do this just out in the middle of negative space, it would just take a lot more holding up, and really it can cause my pieces of rope here to kind of create some bubbles here in the middle. So whenever possible, I like to create a frame there. But you can create something like this in negative space if you want to create another line across and leave the section open, maybe to do some weaving in the middle for like a macraweave piece. It's definitely possible. It's just a little bit more difficult than doing it against a frame right here. So I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions.